people say like, oh, anyone tells you can earn 100k in recruitment in year one, they're fucking lying to you. I'm like, well, they're just in the wrong market and they're doing the wrong thing. But I'll show you that you can. And I think for me, year one's super tough. Year one is building a network, building a market. Candidates aren't coming online, really quickly all the time. You might talk to somebody who's great and they're ready to interview in 6 months. But year two is where you double down and where you can earn and do really, really well.
Welcome to another episode of Pints of You here in the Cavendish, in New Cavendish Street, straight from playing tennis. And today's guest is an absolute superstar. When I tell you some of the numbers that he's achieving within his business, you will literally cream yourself. He's off the fucking hell. Should we go again?
No, keep going now. Since when did you care about people's opinions? Come on now.
Yeah, big brother. Right, So, Will, congratulations. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I know you got a massive op tomorrow. So, okay, brilliant. Cheers. Non-alcoholic beer. Brilliant. We're still looking for a that is absolutely rank, actually. I've left that there way too long. We're still looking for a non-alcoholic beer sponsor of the show. Someone please, Chip. As with all of my guests, I will give you a proper introduction to yourself. But being the first person that we're going to have for season 4, the recruitment piece, I will give you that proper introduction because everybody who works for you is generating 750, 100, a million quid, 2 million quid. It's a different style of business and people are going to literally wet themselves when they hear the story. But I've done you a poem. And as you said, after listening to a few of my podcasts, I might have done a decent one. Are we ready, James?
Ready.
Okay. In the fields of combat, he once did tread, a former soldier, his path widespread. With valor and honor, he bore hit the weight. Now a recruitment entrepreneur, born to be great. From military ranks to tech's elite, Will Kellett strides, his vision complete. In the quant's domain, his prowess unfurled, owning global markets in the mathematical world. Yet tomorrow brings a different stage, a shoulder up, a new war to wage. But battles new, he'll stand tall and strong, for courage and resilience in him belong. So here's to Will, a warrior true, in every venture that he'll pursue. With each challenge faced, he'll rise anew, a former soldier, an entrepreneur. He is bold and true, Will Kellett. Yeah.
Solid 8 out of 10. Yeah. Solid 8 out of 10 from you, which is very good.
I'll be honest with you.
Surprised yourself.
I've actually surprised myself. It was interesting. When you go back and have an argument with ChatGPT, they generally give in.
Yeah, really good.
That was quite good.
Better than others.
Yeah. So, Will, thank you. Cheers for making it here today.
Oh.
And I know you're absolutely cramming so much work in, given the fact that you're going to be, worse for wear as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
You nervous?
What, for my op?
Yeah.
Second in a year, probably not. I'm nervous for recovery. I want to get it really right and get back healthy ASAP. So.
Okay, and how much time are you going to take away from the beers, do you reckon?
My op's at the weekend, so none.
That's the right answer.
Absolutely.
That's kids. That is the right answer. So there's so many things to talk about here. I'd love to know your journey from military into becoming an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. How on earth you found this quant space? Because it's random, it's difficult, it's tough. We wouldn't advise many people to go into it because it's not your normal recruitment. Find one, send it out, bish, bash, bosh. Yeah. Finding these mathematical weirdos, sandals and socks, they're hard to find and even harder to control. Yeah. But the money they earn, it's ridiculous. It's unbelievable money. Some of the advice that you might give to people thinking about these marketplaces and some of the advice that the things you might have taught yourself or asked, if you could have you whispering in your ear when you started. How many years ago did you start your business?
2018, 19. I can't remember. 19, I think.
Okay.
But we weren't doing quant back then. We were doing AI, ML into tech, but still stateside.
So
Before it was popular.
it's still sick. The things you would have done differently. What's next for your sector and what you're doing, and anything else that we might have missed along the way. So is you ready?
Yeah.
For this?
Yeah. Let's go.
Right. Military career. And making a killing on the fields, and now making a killing. No, I can't say that. Okay, I always thought that was really funny, but let's just by the shake of your head, I won't go down that narrative. Give us your backstory and how you found this wonderful world of recruitment after and through the military.
So I was a non-graduate. I got into a handful of universities. Wasn't really that interested in getting myself into debt. I just wanted to start earning. My intended career path in when I was 18, 19 was always I wanted to be in the army. My old man was in the military. I wanted to follow down those kind of combat leader footsteps.
Well, your dad's still sending drones into places, right? We can't talk about that.
No. But I wanted to be on the pointy end of being in the military, and for me that was the infantry, which is, just for people that don't know, it's gun shooting, war fighting,
Grunts.
Yeah, all of that kind of stuff. And I think in that time...
so you could have actually had that whole Sandhurst route, right? Double-barreled...
Yeah, and that's difficult being a non-graduate. I think it's easier these days. So I had a plan back then, which was I'm gonna go on operations, get combat experience, being at the bottom end of that, being a grunt, and then becoming a platoon leader, a commander, and knowing what it's like to be one of those people to get me into Sandhurst. So that was my plan the whole time. I got written up by my boss when I was in Afghan to go to Sandhurst, but I didn't travel that path. I think when I went overseas in 2011, I got to check a lot of boxes that theatre of operations gets to offer. And it was a perfect time. The Afghan war in particular was really busy, very kinetic, still a lot going on. And by the time I came back and I would have gone to Sandhurst, I could kind of foresee a decade of just training. And no one that wants to do anything. If you think about business, army, like sport, no one wants to train and never play. And I think
impatience.
Yeah, and I could basically foresee if I went down that route of becoming an officer, 10 years of just training, and that wasn't exciting. I wanted to deploy to go on combat operations, and I got to do that, and I got to do lots of that.
FUBAR.
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, what does FUBAR stand for?
Fucked up beyond all recognition.
I thought it's fucked up and barely alive, but okay, yeah.
But I'd got into recruitment prior. I saw an advert when I was 18, maybe 19, from a rec to rec, and it just said trainee consultant, sporting accolades required. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And
is it Steve?
Yeah. So the firm at the time was just looking for competitive athletes, people that played sport at a good level, and there's a bunch of us that got grouped into that. One of them's still one of my best mates today, and we didn't get a ton of training, but just got put on a desk, and that was it.
It's amazing that the synergy between people who play sport at an elite level and how good they are in selling. There's loads of...
I wasn't very good, but I wasn't very good to start with. I was on a PIP, had my probation extended. One of my mates had to give me my first deal to get across the line. But it was at the time, recruitment for me was honestly a means to an end. I wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to serve overseas, and I wanted to do that. And I got to do that having been in recruitment for maybe a year and a half. Went through training, deployed overseas with the rifles, and when I came back, I had that choice to make of do I carry on getting...
So what regiment were you in with?
The rifles. So it's an infantry
Okay.
It's an infantry regiment.
Okay.
And the infantry are the door kicking grunts that shoot and throw grenades and get blown up and whatever. And it's not it's not super elite.
Stop trying to sell it.
It's not. It's not. Well, this is the decision I made in 2012 when I came back. Which was, do I get blown up for 19 grand a year, or do I go back in and earn some money and like get back into recruitment, which I did. And mainly because at that point as well, the Afghan war was winding down. A lot of people who were around at that time joined to do one thing, which was serve overseas, and that opportunity it wouldn't be there for the next however long. And so no one wants to sit on the bench and train. They want to get out there and do the job and
100%.
do the job you've been trained for. So, I went back into recruitment.
I mean, it's chalk and cheese, though, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing is real action, focus, things are happening, and the other thing is you're having to make things happen and drive business.
I think there's some interesting similarities. I think intensity is probably one thing. When you're overseas, the intensity is high. But the camaraderie is high. Like we were talking just off air about culture and building culture, and it's one of the things that I think is super important. But the intensity is very similar. The outcomes are very similar, although maybe not life death. But I still think
Making a killing.
I'm
going there.
Yeah, I think intensity is one of the things I think you can draw the correlation between. We play every day like it's life and death, and you would go out the gates on patrol every day, and it used to be like that. Yeah, and it's absolutely the case. And it it happened a handful of times, but I don't think they're too dissimilar. I think yeah.
So when did the penny drop for you in recruitment? Right. So when was that epiphany moment when, I love the fact that someone gave you their first deal, because that was a really important part of the whole S3 culture.
Yep.
That your first deal was always given to you, but thereafter, Russell Clements always talks about this. There's a moment where it just twigs that actually you are working not to just tick boxes or do things. You're working to generate revenue, and don't waste your time with fluffery.
Yeah. I think the first time I started on like 14 grand a year and 150 quid a deal or whatever it was, and I think the first time I got a paycheck and I went, my work ethic has resulted in more money, but it had to land in my bank account for me to realize that. I was really young, I was really green, I'd only ever worked as
how old were you at this time?
Maybe just 19. I'd only ever worked as a lifeguard or a tree surgeon before. It was my first kind of. So
you definitely had a career path.
Yeah.
Soldier, tree surgeon, lifeguard, recruitment.
Yeah. So for me, when I got paid,
we all fall into it.
When I got paid, and then I went, I can buy a PlayStation. That's nice. Let's do more of that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And how good were you during those sort of early formative years?
Not very. And I think
because you jumped into owning your own recruitment company pretty early, without having some of the skills of managing teams or managing P&Ls and all of these things.
Yeah,
you're a brave bugger to go and do that.
Yeah, we just don't know any better. I think and that naivety of youth is a gift, and I think I could have done that. I actually really struggled when I came back from deployment, just to adapt to normal life. And I think for me, one of the things that I really struggled with was crowding and being around a lot of people and all that sort of stuff. Because when you're overseas, you're with you're 12, maybe 18 guys, and you're that's it. You're isolated in a compound somewhere, and that's you for like 6 or 7 months. And I think when I came back, I didn't want to work in London because of that. I could have done, and I was working in a regional office out in the home counties, and there weren't lots of those kind of opportunities. I wasn't particularly good. I tried really hard, and I think that was the only thing that kind of kept me going.
So what was the trigger point for you to say, fuck this, I'm going to do it myself?
I was working for guys who are doing really well now. Actually, I really like them. And I got on really well with those guys, but recruitment wasn't their primary business. It was me and one or two other guys in an office, and I was billing really well. I was finding my feet in a tech market, and it was all perm, and I was doing maybe a couple of hundred a year, and I was getting no love, getting no attention, getting no resources. I'd do a deal, no one would really care, because the primary business that I was in wasn't a recruitment business; it was a tech business, and that was when I decided to go and to start my own.
So tell me that journey. So, okay, I'm going to start my own company up. A lot of recruiters, that the first thing they do is come up with a company name. The second thing they do is work on an exit strategy. What was the gap? What was it that made you choose the markets you've chosen? And tell us about that early formative journey.
Yes, it was always tech. It was always tech, and it was kind of anything that was exciting. Like there was always, the cutting edge of the next thing that always caught my eye and was interesting. When I founded Evolve in 2018, it was AI, ML, stateside, because that's where the investment was going. That's where people were innovating.
That's where the fees were.
That's where the fees were. And that's what we did. That's what we did back then. Data science a little bit. And robotic process automation.
How did you come up with so data is one of the most important things, right? Data, message, content, and how to manage that. How did you come up with all the data of the customers to target and focus? Because in 2018, there wasn't much automation around.
A lot of
to help with it.
Yeah, a lot of it was just normal, just lead generation, references, referrals. Places like Bohurst, Pitchbook, Crunchbase, looking for growing firms, investment, that sort of stuff, and we'd go in and pitch them, and they'd be growing. And then I think probably 2019 was when I got involved in the RDLC and started talking about product and positioning ourselves with bundles and tasks and that kind of stuff, and that worked really well. And I think it was about that time that I started to think about other markets and look at. I've always been interested in finance, and for a little while I actively traded every day as well. So I do recruitment. I trade the US
day trading.
Yeah, trade the open. Made good money. Just didn't ever take off. And I wasn't smart enough to get into any of those programs from school.
Right.
Well, I didn't have any grades to get into any of those programs from school, but it was always an interest. The financial markets, it's where all the money is in the world. And I think, if I think about what we do today in terms of impact, and if you can quantify the impact that the people that we help hire have, that was what attracted me to that space. The people that we help get into the funds that we support have, tens of millions, hundreds of $1 million impact in those businesses, and that's why that hiring is so critical.
So I know a bit about the quant space. I was at an S3 Christmas party once, and there was a bloke crying in the corner. I think we'd just given away a couple of Porsches, and I'm just going to loo, and this guy absolutely booing in an orange shirt. So I knew it was Huxley, because that's what they used to do. And I said, "Are you all right?" He goes, "I just had a dropout." And I thought to myself that he seems very, very, very concerned about having this having this dropout. I wish all my people were that sort of committed to their work. And I said, "What kind of dropout?" He goes, "It's £250,000.
Yeah.
And he says so that was the difference between almost like life and death to him.
Yeah.
That massive dropout. And then I suddenly got really interested in what Gary was doing at Huxley, and the fees are just ridiculous. So tell us about the quant space and how you really stumbled upon it, and what you kind of do in that space.
Okay, yeah, they can be, and I think you made a comment there about life and death, and losing a fee like that's it hurts. And that's kind of one of the draws, for one of the kind of parallels in the military as well is, I play every day like everything's on the line all the time. And I think if you don't play like that in this market, it's going to bite you. I describe it as it's recruitment, but we just play a different sport to everybody else. And say that to people that join us. I say that, and anybody in our team would say the same thing. We don't really compare what we do to what other people do, because I think the numbers can be skewed and can be a little bit unfair. How we got into that market is
it might be sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
it might be just worth mentioning the average recruiter in your shop is generating revenues of.
Yeah, I mean, average fees for us are about 180 at the minute to 200 average. Biggest are half a bar. We'll probably do some this year that are 7 figures, single invoices. The lower end of what we do is around 100k.
So people are generating 750 million quid, 2 million quid.
Yeah. And I love this thing when people say like, oh, anyone tells you can earn 100k in recruitment in year one, they're fucking lying to you. I'm like, well, they're just in the wrong market and they're doing the wrong thing. But I'll show you that you can.
Yeah.
And I think for me, year one's super tough. Year one is building a network, building a market. Candidates aren't coming online, really quickly all the time. You might talk to somebody who's great and they're ready to interview in 6 months. But year two is where you double down and where you can earn and do really, really well. And so for us, like if I look at, what I would consider like a year two consultant is like 750 plus.
Which is sick, right? Which is brilliant. And so that people are earning great money,
Yeah.
but they have to have that credibility in front of a target audience. Second year salespeople as opposed to absolute rooks off the street and grads.
Yeah, and they have to be, we have like 9 core competencies that we hire from, and one of the kind of dangers of that market as well is like people need to be super driven. So you get to 100k and it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that's the end. And I think for a lot of people it could be in recruitment because they're clawing and scraping to get to that, and that's cool. And for us, we're looking for, we want kind of people that are interested in those markets, can kind of communicate and play in that space. The people, the clients that we're dealing with they're 1%ers in the world, and we enable them by the impact that the hires that we are involved with make multi-billion-dollar impact.
Hi everyone, and a massive shout out to our main sponsor for season 4, the recruitment special of Pints of You. Now, Force 24 are exceptional. They do something that nobody else does, which is always pretty cool. If you're looking at sending out outbound email campaigns, multimedia messaging, including video and infographics, nobody else can do this. Everybody else sends out flat words. So your likes of Sourcewell and Elay can't do this. Force 24 do something special. Well, I use them, the RDLC uses them, and anybody who's taking their marketing really seriously will be using them. It's very clever. It's just a game changer. I like it. You should. It's a sick market, that quant space, that whole quant space. Your guys are earning
couple 300 at the top end. It's unlimited, and I think
but revenue wise,
750 a year for a year tour. Year one's tough. I think a lot of our candidates that we would place take a handful of months to a year sometimes to come online. So year one's about building a network, learning the basics,
building trust.
Yeah, and I think we look and judge year two consultants. So year two should be doing 750 plus dollar as a minimum.
Oh, so
and people,
that's monopoly money. It doesn't really count.
And guys will do up to this year someone will do 2.5-3 mil. I would have thought.
But but it's a tight business, and I have the joy of working with you, and we're looking at doubling down in terms of headcount this year.
Yeah.
And I know you put aside £1 million to double this team size. I mean, that's a lot of money as an investment, but the business is generating lots of money.
Yeah.
And the recruiters are there for life. Once they're good, they're good. Yeah.
I think it's a 1% marketplace. I think it's the thing I've been searching for a handful of years. So I heard this thing a couple of years ago on a pod actually, and someone was talking about skill set versus opportunity size, and they were saying you could be a level 10 player, and they were talking about boat size. So it's like you can be a level 10 player in a level 2 boat, and your earnings and potential impact are going to top out. You could also be a level 2 player in a level 10 boat, and you'd be doing better.
Unlimited.
And you'd be doing better than the first guy. And that got me really thinking about where in the tech stuff, AI, ML, that's all applicable to the finance
You
stuff.
don't want to have the biggest house in a shit area. You want to have the shittiest house in the great area, because there's always scope.
Yeah, and I think the skill element of that is scope to grow as well. You know, I think because I think a lot of people get to that, like, you know, 250, 300 in, you know, let's say the UK perm market, which is what I know, and they'll get bored, and
Where they get comfy and they just take the pressure off. They take the pressure off the accelerator.
And I think we're looking for people that, you know, that get there very early and go, what's next? Like, what's the next big thing? Like, what's the market that I've never heard of? You know, and I think, you know, the deals that we do, you know, and that sort of stuff, the numbers are huge and all that kind of thing, and that's great. And but it's more accessible, you know, on our platform than people probably think.
Especially in America, right? So you are doing seven-figure deals, right?
Not yet.
Six-figure.
Well, we got some opportunities at the minute that could be seven-figure deals.
Yeah, but it's just sick revenue. The problem is, how many months would you wait for that deal to come through? Because if it doesn't come through, it's the difference between £1 million.
It's life and death. Yeah,
it's life or death.
Yeah, it is literally life and death in that regard. So we need to balance the business with you know, quicker starters, you know, lower end deals that we can cash flow off, and then, you know, we've got a handful of guys doing those monster ones.
Do me a favour, Will, because there'll be a lot of people saying, they keep mentioning this word quant.
Mm-hmm.
What's your best definition of what a quant is?
Quantitative trading and high frequency trading is computers doing trading for you in the dummy sense, and, you know, the people that build those strategies and
the algos
are mathematicians and statisticians, and they're the researchers that we pick up. And then, you know, the other side of it that we do is the tech side. So the infrastructure and the tech that supports that, you know, latency sensitive, you know, ultra high frequency trading is.
So these are the best of the best of the best of the best.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's why it really matters when there's a reason why the City of London is so attuned to this, because they've got a cable that links to the single digital clock, which I think is the most nuclear sensitive clock that's in Bristol. There is a massive cable that takes it to London. So it's actually, they start trading at exactly the right time. So they're going to get those extra sort of nanoseconds worth. Yeah. And you can do 1,000 billion trades in that nanosecond and stuff like this. So it's really proper bleeding edge stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So that, you know, and it's low volume. It's super high value. You know, the people that we're trying to get attention of are looked after. They're wanted where they are because they're superstars where they are, and, you know, especially on the tech side, you know, we're pulling people from you know, some of the best tech firms in the world to say apply that over here, and you know, what you get from that as an engineer is you know, okay, not just comp, but, you know, and money, but it's, you know, the things that engineers like, you know, it's user feedback and all that kind of stuff.
So I've got a load of questions for you about this market, right? Because there's loads of things I don't understand about it.
Me neither.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Right. So in that quant space, so if you think about businesses that people generally, if they're in that development space, they want to work for your likes of your Googles and your Facebooks, and businesses who are on that sort of massive growth trend. They want to find the next unicorn. But the average tenure of service is about 2 years, if that.
18 months.
18 months, yeah. What about the quant space? Do these guys just hang around for ages because they get humongous bonuses?
Yeah. The average about 3 years. Like if you look at, you know, LinkedIn Insights and other data sources and that sort of stuff, it's more. And the people we're looking for are not the 18-month job hoppers. We're looking for people that have gone into Google from a great university, who are really commercial, who have gone through the ranks really quickly. You know, maybe they've been there 5 years and they're now managing a group, but they're still really gifted and hands-on. You know, those are the engineers that we look for. On the quant side, it's different. But yeah, average 10 years, double, triple tech.
And these are mathematicians from Ivy League, you know, Oxbridge. These are the top point percent of.
Correct, yeah.
Of those people.
Yeah.
And having the ability to engage with them. It's not something that someone can actually say, oh, we should get a quant desk. and give Dave, because he's been doing a deal and a half for the last 2 years in Cobra Kicks DB2, right? That market is not out there. It's you have to be able to communicate with highly functional, but proper. I'm choosing my words carefully because that's your client list, but your candidate list. But these guys are proper spectrum.
Yeah, and a lot of them are, if we look at both the math and the programming side, they're competing from a really young age. They're in societies, groups, clubs that are special, different. They're one percenters.
Athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. They're
Sheldon.
IMO gold medalists. They're ICPC, like programming, Olympiad winners, and these guys are like super competitive, and they want to win.
That would just really float my boat, working with people like that.
Yeah,
that would be so cool. So you're doing, in terms of frequency of trades, you're doing less deals, but each one of those deals. So I
know we talk about a deal a month.
I'm never going to give up until such time. I'm going to keep punching you in the kidneys until such time as we get you a deal a month.
Yeah, I think two a quarter's good. I think if we build some of the stuff that we're talking about building this year, then a deal a month is possible for good people. I think in year 1, 3, 4 in year 1 would be great. But yeah, the deal frequency is certainly lower.
Now, and in terms of that whole space, do you think that's got scalability, or is it you generally have a pod of people working in each market? So Hong Kong, Sing, New York, you choose where you go to fight your battles.
Yeah, and I think there is, and there's tier 1, tier 2 brands. There's all of this stuff on the sell side in the investment banks as well at a slightly lower but still very high level. So there's definitely as far as I can see, there's 2 types of businesses in the quant space. There's 5-person, 6-person, family office lifestyle kind of businesses, and then there's like 200-300 people. There's nothing in the middle.
Now, I know for a fact that everyone's going to be absolutely glued to this, because listening to you talk about those revenues, if you manage to get to, and we will do it, you will do it this year, you get to that magic 15 number, you will be, there's the hot 500 or hot 100 list, which is businesses who generate most revenue per person within their business. You are going to absolutely 100% crush that and be number one within about 10 minutes. That being the case, congratulations, well done, brilliant, and it's an absolute joy and a privilege to work with you, because it's one of those few times we talk about something, you deliver it really quickly, you're properly on it. What advice might have you given yourself early doors to have done potentially better or differently? How would
we dipped into the investment banking market a little bit and probably would have not done that, although it as we transitioned from tech into finance, it was a slow transition for maybe a year or 18 months, and we did it kind of one person at a time, and the transition in that market, you need to be working in a relatable market, whether it's tech or professional services or whatnot, I think. And for me, the thing we would have done differently is just gone straight at the stuff that we're doing now, because we were kind of dueling it for a little bit, and one wasn't complementing the other. It was too segmented, making money in other areas, doing well, and they were kind of 40, 50k kind of fees, and that was nice, but it was too hard for too little upside, and so we used it as a transitional marketplace for people to learn finance a little bit who are coming out of tech, and then come into the hedge fund prop trading buy side stuff that we're doing now. Probably would have just accelerated that move to the buy side. I think for people, the other thing I probably would have done is just look at what does a good candidate actually look like in that market, because people talk about BD and versus delivery and that sort of stuff. Like, our world is all about delivering great people, and if you have somebody that's truly brilliant, lots of people will be interested in them. The BD kind of takes care of itself to a certain extent. And so understanding what good really looks like, and then not just that, but what it actually takes for you to get that person to come to you, because you have to give them a competitive advantage. There has to be a reason for them to come with you. But that being said, the entry to that market just from a cash perspective is tough, right? We might make a placement and not get paid for a year, and you can't factor that invoice. It's not gone out yet. And so you need to be able to identify areas of the market where you can make quicker cash.
How can you not get paid for a year?
Non-competes. It's a super competitive marketplace. All of these funds.
So they're on covenants that they have to basically sit on their hands for like 12 months.
Yeah, up to.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's 6 months to 2 years. Like the top end of that is a couple of years. Average is 12. For some of the traders, different on the tech side.
Brilliant. I love this because it's the sexiest market in the world, but everyone's going to go.
With the barrier to entry is ridiculous.
Don't understand it. Don't make it. It's brilliant.
I also think, for anybody going after that market, the barrier, for me, the thing that's exciting, right, is the barrier to entry is high, and really hard, but that makes it a great place to be because I know people will give up.
Yeah.
And I know a bunch of people that have gone down this path that I've talked to and exchanged ideas with and stuff over the last couple of years, and
you got to hold your breath for a long time.
And now they're doing something different. And
hold your breath for a long time. What's the what things should I have asked you about what you do, how you do it, that I haven't? Because I want to play some games with you today. So
nothing. I think we spoke about like how to get into it, what would I have done different, how I got into it, the upside for people. No, covered it.
It's a sick market though, isn't it?
It is.
So if you're going to get someone who's going to come into this, they've just got to believe in you, your message, your vision, and have enough people who said this has worked, and so they're going to come into something which is
it's everything I liked about the military, right? Which is high intensity. Everything's on the line all the time. The outcomes are ridiculously high, and if you fail, the outcomes are ridiculously high as well. The upside, is high, and the downside is high. It's the things that I like, and it's exciting.
Right, but so before we play some games, can I just say you are one of the most spectacular people I've ever seen in recruitment. What you're doing in terms of your business is different than everybody else. And it's a joy to work with you because you actually listen and implement stuff. And when you push back pretty hard, right? So you bayonet me in the face.
Sorry.
So we know. Yes, when you genuinely say that won't work in this market, 9 times out of 10, things work in every market.
Yeah.
I totally get what stuff you're doing is different. Big shout out to IDLC, although I'm a big part of it. The IDLC have, in their infinite wisdom, decided to sponsor yet another season, the recruitment special of Pints of You. You must have been living under a rock if you run a recruitment business and are not part of the IDLC. It is the game changer and it is the best network for people who are aspirational and trying to achieve something very clever. A network, a community, hookups, meetups, the best deals on all of the tech that you actually need. We go kicking the tires so you don't need to. It gives you an opportunity to ratify your decisions, be part of something that's bigger than you, and there's no need to be lonely at the top of a business. Now you've got 300, we are Sparta, against the rest of the world. So it's us against everybody else. It kind of works that way. We've kept out all of the idiots from recruitment, apart from me, but they need me to make it work. Thank you, IDLC. Hopefully see you soon. Let's play some games, Jamesy! Alphabet soup. This is going to be brilliant because the pair of us are absolutely riddled with dyslexia. So we have no idea. Okay, give it a spin. Be Debbie McGee. I bet you can't get an S.
Oh. Shut up. What are the chances?
What are the chances?
Double tap.
If, double tap, yeah. It was quite funny when you phoned me yesterday. I said, I'm so sorry I double tapped you. It's brilliant. Everyone double taps.
Triple tap.
Triple tap in recruitment is you phone people 3 times before you leave a message.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like hitman. You'd understand this. So a hitman, 2 to the chest and 1 to the head. Make sure they're dead.
Yeah, we double tap, and then when someone gets pissed off, we
Do it
go,
again.
You've called me.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. Right, S. What does S mean to you, sir?
Lots of things. Support. Support.
Support.
From Essex.
Yes.
I think I probably don't say this enough, but I think for people getting into our marketplace and doing what we do, I probably wouldn't be where I am without the support network that I have, whether that's wife, friends, family, advisors, in my ear, kind of helping and getting us and getting me to where I am. And I think especially my wife at home, she does everything that allows me to work, because we work the US market, right, which is I start at 9 and I finish at midnight, 1 o'clock. And I think having someone that's on board with that and happy to go on that journey. I heard something along that's really interesting, which is something along the lines of, I'll probably butcher it, but the people that are along for your ride didn't fucking ask for it. So lots of people want to go somewhere, but the people that are around them just want to be around them and not maybe go to where that person wants to go. And I think being aligned on that vision is really important.
Having the right support infrastructure is so important to people. Mm-hmm. If you think of an elite athlete, so let's look at Djokovic. He's got a dietitian, he's got a strength trainer, he's got a cardio trainer, he's got a chef, he's got a mental coach, he's got his wife, he's got his family. He actually, funny enough, when he travels anywhere, he goes with his brother, and his brother is based here at the Cavendish when he's playing at Wimbledon, and he's just really a lovely host, and he just makes sure that all of his sponsors are looked after and they're entertained here all the time. But without having that machine around you, you can't be an elite athlete. Recruiters and business owners are elite athletes.
100%. And you're playing 24/7. And I think a lot of people look at the person that gets there and is successful and whatnot, but they're not doing it on their own. No one's doing it on their own, and if they are, they're lying. And I think whether it's internal support in my business, I've got a great support network internally as well, and then externally at home.
I suppose your missus at Christmas.
I know you did.
Yeah,
it's actually a really nice story that probably is more endearing to you than some people who might not know you as well.
Oh, well, share it then.
Gary called me. When was it? Just before Christmas.
Just before, yeah.
Yeah, just before Christmas. You called me, and you were like, I think you were calling around because you were rushed, and you're like, just to let you know, you're bloody brilliant. You've had a brilliant year. Give yourself a pay rise. And I went, oh, thanks. No one ever says that to me. Could you tell my wife? And so you went, go on then, put her on. And I went downstairs, gave my phone to my wife, and you talked to her for longer than you did to me. And you went, it's all about you. You're bloody brilliant. He's all right, but it's all because of you.
Okay, well, it doesn't take much to give a little bit back, but
it's true.
Well, hopefully,
it's true. No one gets there alone.
Yeah, it's all about, and actually, they're the people you're working for.
Yeah,
it's your own self gratification. But if people around you aren't happy, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So, you do have a great wife. That was very nice, actually. We made it all about me. My favourite subject. Right, Jamesy, where should we go?
I think should we go to an island?
Yeah, we haven't done that for a while.
Should we go on a little trip?
Hello, Maui. Right, I know what you're like.
This is so random.
I know what you're like. You 100%. You are prepped for this within an inch of your fucking life. So we can do this.
Well, I got told not to give anything that would be actually me, because people just don't get me and my kind of dry sense of humour.
I get you, because me and you literally was brothers from different mothers. Quick fire round. Ready? Out for this?
Born ready.
One wish.
I wasn't as easily distracted.
Okay. But you're doing everything you can with prescription meds to sort that one out. So literally, but we all are. We're all bagpipe, all shiny. And we all go over there. One prediction.
Trump Starmer.
Do you know what?
That'll be a special relationship.
He actually told me yesterday, he goes, Trump to win, but I think he might be right.
I think it might be good for me, dollar pound.
Yeah, but I didn't think Stan was going to win. I actually thought the Tories were going to come back in a flood of glory, but literally, I can't. Rishi's making so many absolute shockers right now. Yeah, 100%. The best moment you've ever had, and you can't say marriage or babies.
Everyone says that. I mean, that stuff's cool, and it's on the list, isn't it?
Did he just throw that away? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. First time I had £1 million in cash.
Oh, that is sick. I remember once getting a check from S3 and it was so big I couldn't actually put it into the automatic pay thing, and there was a queue behind me, and then the woman came over and started doing it, and she went, I know the problem, there's too many zeros. Thank you. And I had to go upstairs and do it with a cashier. Yeah. That was brilliant. Yeah, £1 million in cash. Love that. If you had to have a tattoo, being in the military, you're going to have your blood type on you, don't you? Somewhere. You've got a blood type tattoo?
You just write it on your clothes.
Okay. So if you had to have a tattoo, what would it be?
I'd probably go. I like one of yours.
Spend what God will send.
I will spend what God will send. Yeah. I like the location.
Yeah.
So I'd probably
my tramp stamp.
So I'd probably go same location. I have no limitations.
Right.
Just Thomas Shelby.
Is it really? So AC Cobra.
I have no limitations, Michael.
Love that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. One guilty pleasure. Now, you got a lot to live up to.
I have many.
Because Dean Kelly was really massive about George Michael. So we've had some randoms here.
Selling Sunset.
So what?
Didn't see that coming.
What?
Selling Sunset.
What's that?
It's a Netflix series.
I
did not see the super successful
selling houses in LA, like in the hills.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Really? It's so shit.
No, it's
I'm
good.
so surprised.
I finished 3 series of Below Deck.
That
is a bit of you, to be fair.
It was a bit of that.
The drama is intoxicating.
Is it really?
And they're selling, and they're doing big deals. They're making money.
You just like looking at people's houses.
What's not to like?
But unbelievable. One do-over.
Try harder in school.
I don't think it's done you any harm, though, is it?
Yeah, I could have learned a bit more, I think.
But did you get diagnosed with dyslexia or learning stuff, right? Because I think they should have spotted the fact that I couldn't spill for 2 feet, but they just thought I was lazy. Sporting victory that you wish you might have had. So something that you would love to have been worldy at.
Yeah, I think winning runs in a home Ashes series, but we're on a comeback from a 2-0 down against the Aussies. I come in like 7 or 8 off the last over, quick 2 or 3, massive 6 to finish it, run off, grab a stump, straight in. Yeah.
Fucking hell, literally, you've thought
cricket,
about that way.
Cricket. I dream about that stuff all the time. Or playing 9 in an England Rugby World Cup, winning try. Either or, cricket or rugby.
Literally, you are such a posh bastard. Cricket and rugger.
And I'm just shit at the wrong sports as well.
A person that you wish you could have or would love to meet.
I did think about this actually. I think Ranulph Fiennes.
What, 3 fingers?
Oh yeah.
Ranulph 3 fingers Fiennes.
Or I nearly said yeah. Or,
don't go there.
Or
we can get cancelled.
Yeah. Or the Queen maybe. As she's knighting me.
I'll be honest with you. Well, she's knighting me.
With the royal bread knife.
Right. I've got a story about me meeting the Queen, but that's for a different podcast because that didn't go well. The one food stuff that you like to eat for the rest of your life. So if you had to eat something.
Pork.
Bill said pork.
Smart, that's why.
What was it? Bacon sandwich?
No, but it's just versatile. If you could be like bacon, sausages, ribs, pork belly, pulled pork. Pigs in blankets.
I hate pulled pork. I think it's the worst food in the world.
Pork scratchings.
Pulled pork is just evil. And also, I've got fairly decent teeth. I look after my teeth, but the pork gets into every pocket for fucking months, and it just takes you sideways. It's up there with lobster.
No, that's good. It's good.
Okay. Luxury item that you can't do without. Can't say phone, can't say laptop.
Or wife.
Wife. Wife. Keep it a wife.
I
That is brilliant.
like really expensive bedding.
So do you go for, say, Egyptian cotton? So something that's really high, like...
Just whatever the most expensive thing is.
So my wife
Yeah.
does a gig
Yeah.
at the White Company. We've got the most brilliant bedding.
Yeah.
Sometimes I jump in with silk pajamas and slide straight out. It's unbelievable.
Then renew it every 18 months as well.
Oh yeah, we do that in Ibiza. That's good. We all stole it from a random place. You got one last phone call. Who are you going to call?
Everyone's going to say the wife and kids, aren't they?
They can't.
Family group chat, WhatsApp,
WhatsApp.
group everyone in.
The minute somebody marries into Bill's family, they've got a WhatsApp group where he actually watches where they are. So if you're out in a pub, one of the kids will just turn up and just because they just follow each other, which I think is really lovely, but it's a little bit stalkerish.
Yeah, family WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Family WhatsApp.
A mantra that you live by.
Oh, loads. If it's not on the database, it didn't happen.
Yeah, thank God. Yes, please.
Some we have in the office that I like. You got to die for 3 points. Neil
Yeah.
Warnock. Probably.
Don't you have that on One Up when people just get
an interview or
Yeah.
whatever? You got to fucking die for those 3
I
points.
love that. Yeah.
What else is on there? Probably my favourite one is champions are made when no one's watching.
Okay, that's cool. I've never heard. Who said that?
Me. I don't know. Do the work when no one's watching.
Yeah, love thyself. And
Yeah.
one book to read.
Legacy, James Kerr. I get people to read that. Business, All Blacks, correlations between that stuff.
Do you know my favourite book
And it's about 100 pages.
is The Yellow Pages? Because I could read that all day long and think, how would I market them better? It's the stuff that goes here. Right, so we're on to guest choice. So you can either do 2 truths and a lie, or you can ask me a question, or you can ask me to ask you a question.
Or both.
You can do whatever you want. The rules are.
We're playing for charity again.
If we're playing for charity, I'll put 100 quid up if I can't tell which one's the lie.
Okay. Yeah.
I knew you'd put prep into this. Here we go. Okay, can we have some tense music, please? Tense music on cue. 2 truths and a lie. What's the first statement?
What's the first truth?
Yeah,
Oh, it's good.
Can't trick me like that.
I will trick you.
I've got 2 kids. My 5-year-old boy can hit a golf ball 100 yards.
Probably true.
I was suspended from school for shooting another kid with an air pistol.
Probably true.
My first self-sold deal in recruitment required written Arabic and English, and I didn't know until a month after the candidate had started.
He looked top right. Is top right remembering or making up?
Remembering,
Depends which hand he writes with.
I'm ambidextrous.
Shit, he's got you.
He's not.
You're dead, Goldsmith.
Again, I'm going to say you're not ambidextrous, so I'm going to go with that as a strong leader. I'm going to go for the last one. Not a chance in hell you didn't. They might have spotted that he couldn't speak Arabic.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
What's the lie?
My kid, he can't hit a golf ball.
Oh, what a twat! Literally
It's good.
unbelievable.
Cough up, Goldsmith. 100 quid to a charity. Name the charity.
He can hit about 50 yards, but he's not good enough for that.
Okay, what?
The placement, the deal was a real.
All right,
real
stay there.
concept.
Hang on, I've actually got the cash. I literally bought it because I knew you. I 100% knew you'd be a bastard, and I had to do this, so I actually bought cash in. How bad is? Oh, hang on, did you throw it out of my wallet when you just threw my wallet on the floor?
No.
I even bought cashes specifically for you. Okay,
Take check as well.
There's £100 floating around here somewhere that I have no idea where it is, and I specifically got the money out. You little shit.
I'll do it. Take off the next invoice.
Okay.
The recruitment one is a good one actually, because I placed somebody into Dubai into a consultancy, and the client called me like a month later. Role's been open forever. Terrible role. She'd never been working it, and she went, "Oh, mate, I can't believe you found someone that can write and read Arabic." And I was like, "Fucking me neither."
Well, the funny thing was, one didn't try.
Yeah.
Well, what
Not a
advice?
clue.
What advice? Can we go back in time? So, serious question about you and everything, not just business, but you in your life and everything. What advice would you give to the 18-year-old Will Kellett?
Probably wouldn't listen to it, but learn before you earn. And I think look for signals of success in other people. Look for good mentors, look for good advice. Probably don't just go and try and figure it out on your own.
It's earning on somebody else's dollar.
I would have got there twice as quick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I congratulate you on absolutely everything that you've done. Your business is sick. I think as a human being, you're one of the most fun and likable people that I've met, especially in that evil world that is recruitment. It's a joy to have you with the Pirates, and it's a joy to be having a front seat in all that you do. It would be remiss of me not to give you the famous and final last words. Is there anything you'd like to say to this wider audience? And now everyone's watching now because I've just been on Big Brother. Hopefully I didn't fucking fuck up.
Yeah, if you wanna apply, links in the description.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That just no. I haven't got any last words other than maybe I think anything in life worth doing is worth overdoing. Moderation's for cowards.
Moderation's for cowards.
There you go.
Brilliant. Literally, someone should tell me that when I had a massive coke habit. Right, anyway, so thank you very much, brother, for being here.
Appreciate
You've been an
it.
absolute darling. James, did you like that? James, you've been an absolute superstar. Thank you very much again. Thank you very much for tuning in. There's show notes everywhere. Peace out and love from the Cavendish.